Yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Yep, that's a big one.
That is a big one.
The one I'm super excited for is
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
We're back.
Hello.
We're back. Another episode of the Nerdy Misfit. I got you.
Thanks, man.
I got you. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back to Nerdy Misfit Podcast, where you're listening any day that ends in Y. And yeah, this is going to be a news-filled episode. A little bit of everything. The usual, Marvel, DC, anime, manga, Star Wars.
Whatever we can find.
Whatever we can find.
When we made this.
Exactly.
And obviously the biggest news is, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, is there was a stream yesterday on Nerdy Misfit Gaming. So if you're not subscribed to Nerdy Misfit Gaming,
you should go do that.
Feel free to go subscribe to them as well. Click our own subscribe button down there as well.
Exactly.
For more Nerdy Misfit content.
Yeah.
Hope Troy had a good stream. But yeah, like Matt said, we got a bit of a more news-filled one. We don't often really do news, mostly because
it's always on the go. It's constantly changing.
It gets kind of boring for both us as well to have to constantly be looking and trying to find what's coming out or what's news or so. This one's more just a compilation of a lot of stuff, maybe a little stuff early 2025 that maybe we're looking forward to, or we think maybe you guys might look forward to. And so honestly, just follow along.
We got it broken down. Pretty easy, chewable bites, I hope.
Maybe we break it down by certain sections. So if you're interested in Marvel, we'll leave timestamps so you can go to Marvel and the anime. So you find the news you want. You don't have to stay for the whole thing.
But
But we appreciate if you do.
Yeah, about 6 weeks left, 2024, when this episode comes out. So we start off, we're going to chat about a few things that are still coming out this year, which is pretty crazy, to be honest, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's a lot of things happening in the next 6 weeks.
But also, the year's almost done.
Exactly.
It's crazy. 2024 flew by.
So right off the bat, by the time this episode airs, there already be 3 episodes out of season 2 of Arcane.
Yes, Arcane, very hyped up animated show by Riot Games.
Yep.
Based in the lore of League of Legends and stuff. So
pretty big.
Yeah, I think it's 9 episodes. It'll be done by the end of November, I think.
I think maybe the last weekend in November it comes out, I think.
So if you're more of someone who just wants to crank out all 9 episodes in one go, you're going to have to wait a bit. But at least the way they did it the first season was, it kind of had the stories were kind of 3, kind of told one story.
Yeah.
And then, so they all kind of fit together, or should, I'm expecting. That's why they're doing it like that again. But yeah, that's a very hyped up one. Also, Worlds did just happen a couple weeks ago as of recording this. T1 won their 5th championship. Faker won his 5th championship. The GOAT of League of Legends.
Boom diggity.
Matt loves League.
A dabble.
But yeah, so Arcane. I'm sure Matt will probably be doing, I guess, early December. Maybe we'll do a
potentially, yeah. So we'll talk about it.
Matt has to watch the first season still, so he'll crank that out, and then he'll crank out the second season, and we'll discuss it. Okay. We'll see the perspective from someone who literally has no idea about
the League of Legends
the world.
Lore. Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what you think of the story overall. Not having any investment in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'll be a good take.
Great. We got Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars show.
Are you interested in Skeleton Crew?
I don't know. It's
I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel.
I don't really, to be honest, I don't know anything about it. I don't know when it comes, like when it's in the timeline, who these characters are. Is it closer to Phantom Menace? Is it closer to New Hope? Is this like Rebels again? Is this just... Because it feels like Disney Plus Star Wars is like literally, they're like, hey, so here's our 2 stories. One, post Return of the Jedi, where you have Mando, Ahsoka, and everything. Then we got the pre-original trilogy, which is your Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think Skeleton Crew fits in around that timeline.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that.
It's a cool name, though.
Skeleton Crew is a cool name, so...
It's got that going for it.
It's got that going for it, you know? Then we got What If Season 3 dropping, I think December 22nd.
I feel like What If Season 2 was a bit
bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
Some cool characters, you know.
I feel like it's probably just going to be every What If season, right? Like,
Yeah.
probably one or two maybe good ones, and then the rest are kind of like, eh.
I mean, I was a sucker for the indigenous character.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
That was an
That was
original
cool.
character. Love the concept of that. But yeah, some of the episodes definitely fell flat. So I don't think I have high hopes going into What If Season 3.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll see. Maybe they cook.
Yeah. What I do have high hopes for, which I'm very excited for, is the final season of Beastars.
They seem to went under the radar. I guess I just
I had
never
no- I-
noticed.
I knew it was coming out eventually, but I didn't know it was like
Yeah, all of a sudden
coming
it's
out
just
a month from now. Yeah.
so early December, I think it was, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna
December
go on
6th
Netflix?
or 7th or something. Yeah. This was an anime, we've briefly talked about it in the past on the podcast. This was an anime I literally just kind of came across.
Yeah.
And before I got Crunchyroll, I was definitely a Netflix anime guy only.
Yeah, everyone else has Netflix jail. Matt's like, Netflix is my, bread and butter.
Exactly. So I came across Beastars. I was genuinely shocked by it. I thought the story was
Characters are great.
Insane.
Story's good.
character's good, story's good, the artwork is good too. Like, I enjoy the
I'm surprised
style
you
of
actually
it.
don't own the manga yet.
It's on the list to buy eventually, you know?
Because I've heard great things about the manga as well as, sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean if it's a good anime, it doesn't mean it's going to be the best manga.
And vice versa, for sure,
Absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely vice versa. But yeah, Beastars final season, I'm excited
Yeah.
for it too. So
Did you end up watching season 2?
I've seen season 2,
Okay,
yep.
yeah. Now, something both of us are not excited for.
And I don't
Don't think we're
Is
even
any-
going to...
let us know. Is anyone excited for this?
Are you
you?
excited
Why?
for Kraven the Hunter?
Why? Please leave a comment down below as to why.
Because Sony don't got a good track record.
Not just that, the whole the trailer was one of the.
It looked like he got bit by a radioactive tiger or something.
It
and
might
now
not have
he's
been
got-
radioactive. It may have just been a tiger.
Rhino's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's just a
so
mess. It looks so bad.
I just don't.
I think the reason I'm most disappointed is because I've been wanting Kraven the Hunter to be a villain in
Yeah.
a Spider-Man film because we've gotten a good decent amount of his rogue gallery at this point, like a good chunk.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different live action versions
Even
of
if
different Spider-Man villains.
They weren't the full villain, but we've at least seen them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Rhino. We
got a mech Rhino.
yeah, well, it wasn't
you know,
great,
but we still got, like, you go through the movies quick. You got Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Venom, Sandman, Hobgoblin, Lizard, another version of Green
Electro.
Goblin, Electro, Vulture.
Yep.
you know,
Good
like,
amount. We've
good-
seen the Kingpin not in a Spider-Man film per se, but
But he's around.
Exists,
He exists, you
and
know.
he's casted perfectly.
So Vincent I can never pronounce his last name, but he does a really good job.
Oh man, he's perfect.
Like, shout out to him. I'm super pumped to see him in Daredevil.
But Kraven would have been nice to see him in a Spider-Man film, but
I just don't.
what is up with the villains and having their own not even really a villain movie? It's like they're all becoming anti-heroes for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that I can make an argument for from the knowledge I know reading comics and is Venom. Is the only one, but because we've discussed that with the whole
Yeah.
anti-Venom, the Venom symbiote jumping from person to person. But like, Morbius makes no sense. Kraven the Hunter is literally a hunter. You can't be an anti-hero and kill people,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't. It is what it is.
We've also got the Attack on Titan movie, which will be already available on Crunchyroll as of the release of this podcast. For us right now, as recording, it is not, but it will be. I don't have the exact time here, but I think it was like 2 hours and 20 something minutes or something along those lines. And it's going to actually have added scenes from at the end as well as the post-credit scene, which were both not in the manga and obviously not in the original movies that were released. So if you're an Attack on Titan fan and maybe want a different ending, I feel like I'm pretty content with the ending personally. I'm not. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great, and I'm okay with that kind of ending where I'm just like, it didn't ruin it.
Yeah,
Didn't ruin the series. So I'm one on the end of like, it's fine.
it is what.
But
it
I
is.
will probably watch the ending.
Yeah.
If I don't watch the whole movie, maybe I'll watch the ending. Or I think Matt's not caught up, so maybe I'll wait for him to catch up and I'll just watch the movie with him
True. Yeah.
and see
Do
what we
that.
think. Vinland Saga ending in a few chapters. That was announced by the writer himself. That series has been going on since the early 2000s. Really enjoyable story. Some of the best character development in in at least manga. I'm sure, if I read other books, maybe I can say other fiction, but definitely a fantastic series. If you're not into reading manga, then check out the anime. The first 2 seasons are also great.
Yep.
But yeah, that's going to be a little sad, not going to lie, to see that manga come to an end.
A lot of big mangas ending.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about.
But you know what they say? When one door closes, another one opens.
Opens slightly.
And we'll see if it's good.
Exactly. Another big one, Oshinoku, final chapter comes out.
Yes, Oshinoko's final chapter, which is, what did I say it was?
50 pages.
50 pages. Yeah, that's how you end a manga, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You end, looking at you, JJK, you end on a nice 50-page
chunky
banger.
Boy.
Make sure you get everything you need and finish it properly. Well, we don't know, but hoping.
You shouldn't have to do a one-shot after your manga's finished to...
Yeah, exactly. Hoping this finishes it well.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what the commotion's about. I'm sure we'll talk about it. This one we have discussed before. Obviously, One Piece is on hiatus. So it goes without saying that in 2025, that'll come back. I think it's March? April, One Piece will come back. But as of right now, we've got the new Fishman Island arc, the one that's gotten adjusted to be pace fixed, some changes in terms of the sound and other visuals as well fixed. So if you need that One Piece itch scratch, definitely maybe check out that Fishman Island that that's currently airing and see if you like it. I'm definitely interested to see how you guys are feeling. If Toei's stepping it up in the right direction, and hopefully maybe we see One Piece continue to be at that level. But I'm sure once the Fishman Island arc is done, we'll talk about it and say if we preferred the style change, if it was better or not.
Yeah.
Because we've obviously gotten the OVAs / movies that are, this is the East Blue told in
a certain amount,
in like an hour or whatever it was.
I've debated about watching those, but I know,
some of them definitely, the Sky Island one skips a ton of important stuff. It does obviously get the majority of the stories told in a quick way, but I don't know. And I didn't like the way it was animated either, personally.
Okay.
So that's a big one for sure.
And this is kind of a one-off one. I don't know anything about this. It feels like it's just another Suicide Squad in my opinion. But we got Creature Commandos for HBO Max, the DC animated show coming out in December. James Gunn is behind it. It's the beginning of his new Gunverse.
Isn't HBO Max just called Max now or something?
Is it just Max now?
I don't know. I thought they changed the name.
They might have. I can't keep up with it. I don't have HBO Max or just Max.
Yeah, it's just called Max now.
Just Max now. Oh, sorry.
Just Max.
Just Max. So that's coming out. If you're interested in that, if you're going to give it a watch, let us know. It just seems like it's a bunch of C-list or D-list characters.
Put them on a team and hope it works.
It's Suicide Squad, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we'll move into some categories
that you guys might be familiar with.
Exactly. So, Marvel, hitting it hard in 2025.
So, yeah, definitely big 2025. Nothing coming out before the end of the year, though.
Outside of What If Season 3.
Yeah, except for What If. But I guess let's cover the early stuff. What do we got in the first half? Because, we don't want to cover too much before.
We got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, animated show. Super excited to see if that's going to be a different timeline or if that's just the soft reboot they kind of did at the end of the third Spider-Man movie.
I guess we'll find out.
So I'm pumped for that. I think the animation's really cool. Next after that, we're jumping to February. We get Captain America 4, a.k.a. Captain America Brave New World.
I'm excited.
I'm excited because Red Hulk is in it. I'm excited they're following that story. It's got Samuel Stern is supposed to come back, which for those who don't know, who either skipped this movie or dislike this movie, it's Mr. Blue from the Incredible Hulk movie. And we see him in the halfway through the movie where he's on his side and a couple drips of the Hulk blood goes into his head because in the comics he's the leader. So he's supposed to be in it. I think Captain America looks great.
Yeah, his costume looks great.
Yeah. We have the new Falcon as well, which is pretty dope. We got a lot of cool characters coming.
And a very important character for the MCU moving forward.
Definitely.
So, I feel like this is our first bigger feeling movie in a phase. A lot of the other ones, it felt like we've talked about this before, but it feels very all over the place. But this one feels like we can follow behind the Captain America. We're like, oh, this is Captain America. It may not be, Chris Evans,
but it's all right.
It's a new direction.
Exactly. And this show, I'll recommend people who are wanting to watch it, go watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, because the new Falcon is in that show. And by the end of that show, you see the suit. You see the future of the MCU starting through that show. So that's important. Now, jump into March. Back on Disney Plus, first season of a new show-ish, depending how you look at it. Daredevil Born Again. How excited are you for this?
I would say medium.
Did you see the teaser for it?
Yeah, I've seen the teaser for it.
Yeah.
I did like the Netflix Daredevil. I thought it was really well done. I liked pretty much everything about it. The costumes, the villains, the set designs were great too. So, honestly, I really want to see like a proper film with Daredevil though.
Yeah.
But I'll take what I can get. Daredevil's a cool character.
Okay. After that, we got Ironheart. She's getting her own show, which again,
I think the show is a good way of introducing characters that are not as well known for new people as well.
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy about this, and I was like 50-50 on Ironheart. I mean, she got introduced in Black Panther 2. And I was like, why would they be making her a bigger character? And my thought process behind it is, in the comics with Young Avengers, we talked about this on last week's episode with Agatha along a little bit. In the Disney Plus shows, you have a younger version of Hawkeye. You have Ms. Marvel. You have...
you're covering all the big ones.
You're covering all the big ones, right? And in the comics, there's a character named Iron Lad, who is teenage version of Kang.
Ah, okay.
So I'm curious now if Ironheart is going to take that place. Because Iron Lad is literally just a teenager, basically, who has an Iron Man suit.
The one thing that I'm sad about Ironheart, which we'll see what ends up happening, is obviously when she was first introduced in comics, Tony Stark's consciousness was like...
her AI. Yeah.
And just so happens a certain individual is back in the MCU. Could be pretty funny to hear his voice as her Jarvis.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
It wouldn't be the same impact because obviously in the comics, at that point from the fallout from Civil War 2 has Tony in like a coma or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's basically MIA, gone from the main.
And so his consciousness is uploaded, of course, typical.
Which is also the same time that they introduced Infamous Iron Man, who is Dr. Doom as Iron Man.
Matt does love Infamous Iron Man.
Love the costume design. So that's up until the end of June.
And that's halfway through. I think that's a good spot to... Definitely more Marvel content than we kind of got this year.
Oh, definitely. There was only... couple shows and one movie,
Deadpool,
so not bad. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff coming out for Marvel, but that's the first year. A lot of other things don't have official dates for some of it.
Don't have official dates, but there is more coming out.
Yeah.
We'll cover it in a later episode for sure.
Moving on, DC Comics. Not a lot going on here. The big one...
We do have to jump pretty deep.
Yeah, into July.
The biggest one.
The beginning of James versus... DC.
Yeah, James Gunn's DCEU. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what
it's the Superman movie. This is an actor I have never seen before, except for literally last week. I was watching a movie on Netflix original movie.
And you're like, wait a second.
I was like, this guy kind of looks familiar. His name kind of looks familiar, and I was trying to through it. I was like, I don't recognize him in anything. And I'm going through all of his credits, and I'm like, oh, it's the new Superman. He doesn't look bad. I think he looks good. He's no Henry Cavill, but you shouldn't really judge when it comes to DC. Don't also you shouldn't judge before and after.
Also, we've had great Spider-Man, all three of them, honestly.
Well, even the Batmans. We've had some good ones. We've had some
of it's
ones.
Writing.
You gotta have good writing.
But this is also the actual what will feel like the real start to James Gunn's universe, and we'll see if he can guide it down the stream there. But I feel like superhero films are really starting to hit that.
They're hitting a wall. It's
happened a while ago. We've talked about it, where it does feel like there's a lot of burnout. It's a rough time to try and start fresh.
Yeah, I'm worried for this.
But the MCU feels weak.
Yeah, so it's a good time for that. I'm also worried because James Gunn he's got so much pressure on. So I feel like even if Superman's good, as soon as one does okay, or just not
does
that
the plug
good,
get pulled, or does he just get attacked?
That's what I mean. Like, it's nerdum fandoms, as we know,
passionate fans,
harsh.
Yeah, they're passionate people.
They are.
Especially if it's a character they love. And unfortunately, Superman he's pretty big.
He's a big guy, you know?
He's a pretty big character.
Otherwise, only other thing in DC is Sandman Season 2, Netflix, 2025 sometime.
I really enjoyed
You
season
watched
1.
the first season, right? Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So I'll be excited to see season 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on. We got some anime. We'll just cover these pretty quickly. Just so you guys know, if you're new around here, we do.
We
happen to do. See what I did there? A preview of every anime season. So you'll definitely be getting these for a lot of the winter season, but we'll just do a little sneaky peek for maybe some of the bigger ones. We've got Sakamoto Days, which is a very popular Shonen Jump manga right now. I think a ton of people are super excited for this anime series, so we'll see how that does. We got Solo Leveling Season 2. Did you watch Solo Leveling Season 1?
I watched the first couple episodes.
It was pretty fire. I'm not going to lie. I was into it. I was digging it. It was pretty simple, but also sometimes you just really want that simple action that's just well animated and just hits well. The Apothecary Diaries. Whoo! So excited for season 2 of this. This show is so good. Has no business being animated as well as it is, but hopefully they keep up the quality because it was chef kiss. Dr. Stone, I think this is the 4th season, second core will be coming out. One Piece, obviously, like we mentioned, will be coming back. And yeah, Gachi Kuda.
So one of the mangas that we discussed with Gray.
Oh, it's already getting an anime.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So that's something to.
Yeah, if you haven't checked our manga to check out, we have an episode with Gray. It's a good. We discussed that there are some manga ending, and on that episode, we discussed maybe some manga that you should maybe try out to fill the void, if you will. So we definitely recommend checking out that episode.
Heck yeah.
Manga, My Hero is coming to an. Well, My Hero has ended, but the manga will officially be all out.
Ending with 41 volumes, which is like
basically 2 box sets. So that
if
you
they
could
should
definitely wait.
Yeah, because they already did the 1 to 20 is the first box set. Yep. So if you're,
I would maybe expect a second one that would finish it off. So if you're patient enough, I'm sure there'll probably be a second box set for sure.
Otherwise, we have the potential of getting the final 6 volumes of JJK coming out as well.
It'll be close.
It's gonna be close.
But I would say we'll probably see, if not by the end of 2025, early 2026, the English release will be officially all out.
Yeah. I'll crush through this next part because this is just my corner.
Yeah, go ahead.
Big books that are coming out in 2025 that I'm excited for. We got Great Big Beautiful Life done by Emily Henry. She is this like backbone of book talk right now with your rom-com style books. I've read all of her books. I've enjoyed every single one of them. We got The Potential. I'm pretty sure it's coming out the end of the Percy Jackson trilogy of him going to college and stuff like that. Takes place directly after the Heroes of Olympus. So if you're a Percy Jackson fan, you got that. Serena Valentino, she's been doing this really cool villain book series, just like villain stories taking place around their movie or inspired by their side of the story. They got incredible covers.
Matt's very into this series.
They're pretty great. She's got a Queen of Hearts book coming out. Obviously, more Ultimate Spider-Man graphic novels. I'll be collecting a bunch of graphic novels next year. There's a bunch of new ones coming out. We got new Twisted Tale novels coming out for both Moana and The Lion King. And one of the biggest books coming out next year, which I feel like Connor will probably end up reading as well, is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. It's a Hunger Games novel. It is Haymitch's story of him being in the Hunger Games.
That is pretty exciting.
So it's already greenlit for a movie. As soon as it they're like, hey, this book's coming out the next day. They're like, all right, so we're gonna start putting it into like
it
production.
Would be very interesting to see how his character was as a younger.
I think it's the 50th annual Hunger Games, or it's one of the big numbers. So obviously something crazy's got to happen. But yeah, I'm excited for this, but I hope this is the last Hunger Games book. We have the trilogy, and then we have the prequel of Snow and his game.
Another prequel.
And then we have this one. I don't care about.
There's so many Hunger Games.
Yeah, but no.
But Matt.
What, are we gonna get like the Hunger Games book about the old lady from whatever district was that had her story?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I think this is like, I don't know.
Gotta get everything you
Gotta
can from
get
that
them all,
cash cow.
I guess so, honestly, yeah.
Video games, nothing too crazy.
Slay the Spire 2 gets an official release sometime in 2025. Pretty pumped. Another big one-ish is if you play any Marvel games, there's Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. It's a World War II style one. It's got like a mini Illuminati, I'm pretty sure. So it's like Captain America, Black Panther, and Namor kind of thing.
And early 2025 is also when Insomniac Games Spider-Man 2 will be out on PC.
That's what it is. That's the other big one.
So that's January 30th, I believe, is the release date for that. I know that there's a lot of people who do not own a PlayStation, but have obviously PCs and have been waiting to see when this will come. It is on its way. I'm sure that potentially you'll see some stuff about that on the Nerdy Misfit Gaming. Just another, another plug for the Nerdy Misfit Gaming. I'm sure Eddie or Troy or maybe
one of us
will take on the difficult trial that is playing Spider-Man 2.
Dun, dun, dun. Moving on through Star Wars quick. Couple of Star Wars books coming out of the High Republic. I'm super pumped. I've been getting them all. Been reading through them all. Great, incredible. And then there's 2 books I know that were coming out, which seems kind of random. We got 2 different books taking place around the Acolyte show.
Oh, okay.
Before. So it's
how far back are we gonna go?
It's 2 of the Padawans that are in the Acolyte show, but it's like a couple stories about them, and then one of the other books is about Vanestra Rowe. I think it takes place just after the show or something like that. I don't know. It's whatever. And then we get Andor season 2.
Okay. People loved Andor, so
people loved Andor. Scrolling through all the streaming services, they got a little bit of things coming out. We'll skip the ones that don't really have anything. We think Rings of Power season 3 might be coming out.
I haven't watched Rings of Power season 2 yet, and I've only watched the first half of season 1.
I watched all season 1.
I found season 1 very boring.
First couple episodes definitely a little slow, and then it definitely picks up.
But I mean, they paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
So I expect that they're gonna keep it going as long as they can.
Last of Us season 2.
Yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Yep, that's a big one.
That is a big one.
The one I'm super excited for is Percy Jackson season 2. That kid is growing fast.
So which, in your opinion, is the best Percy Jackson book? Like
the third one.
Third one's the best?
Yeah.
So you're just hoping they get there?
I'm hoping.
Is that like what you're like,
yeah.
Yes, we got a first solid one. The first season was good. It was good. It was, we talked about it on the podcast, and we'll obviously discuss it the second season. But it sounds like we got to get to that season 3 then.
Yeah, because so personally, Sea of Monsters, which is the second book, is my least favorite book.
Oh,
it's got some good, cool, fun things, but the fact is that when they did the Percy Jackson movies and they never got to the third book / final movie of the whatever,
they were combining too many books.
They were combining 5 books into 3 movies, and the third movie didn't get any reads. I'm going to spoil part of Percy Jackson book 3 for you here.
Oh boy, here we go.
You get introduced to 2 new characters named Bianca and Nico, who are the children of Hades.
Nice.
Which were put into the Lotus Casino Hotel pre-World War II. So Hades never broke like the agreement of having children post-World War II. He literally kept these children hidden in the casino.
No one knew.
No one knew that Nico and Bianca existed. So now they come in and they are fundamental to the rest of both the Percy Jackson series, Heroes of Olympus. Like, they are really cool characters.
All right.
So I'm pumped about that. And there's also a really cool scene where they go to a graveyard, but it's Hephaestus's graveyard, like the mechanic, blacksmith god. So they go to his
You just love gods.
Yeah, I just love when it's done well.
Fair.
When it's done well.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's
So you're enjoying Ragnarok.
I love the concept of Ragnarok. The anime is garbage, but the story is so good.
It's fun.
Anyways, moving on to Netflix. Couple big things.
Big ones, yeah, for sure.
Stranger Things season 5. You're a Stranger Things. If you're still watching Stranger Things, kudos to you.
You're a real one.
I stopped
never watched
in
it.
season 3.
Never watched it. I've never watched it. I feel like it's one of the biggest cult following shows I've never watched.
One of the big cult followings. Definitely a partial reason why D&D came back, I would say.
Definitely helped the surge of it, for sure.
Stranger Things coming out with D&D in it, and that surged it. And then with the pandemic and people trying to find stuff they can play, definitely helped D&D grow again.
I give a lot of credit to Critical Role.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That is the main reason why D&D is as popular as it is.
I feel like they helped it seem cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Stranger Things is another for sure.
Yeah. Final season of The Witcher. Never watched it. I know Henry Cavill's not anymore. It's
I haven't watched the most recent season.
It has the Hemsworth brother in it now, right? Yeah.
I haven't watched the most recent season or finished it. I think I watched the first half of it. But yeah, I mean, it's just not gonna be the same, so it's tough, Yeah. But I'll probably end up watching it.
Eventually.
And another thing is, another plug to the Nerd Misfit Gaming. I think I expect that Troy will probably end up doing a Witcher playthrough. Yes. So if you maybe don't have a PC or don't own The Witcher or don't want to, I know that some people it's not super long, I think, but like you got to put time into it.
Yeah.
So if you want to kind of follow along the story without playing it, but very relaxed, definitely join Troy. His streams are very chill.
Very chill, cool, comic collective.
Very chill guy, so definitely join him and watch along as he plays through games like that. He's definitely going to be covering. I'm sure The Witcher's on his list.
Exactly. And the next biggest one for Netflix, arguably the biggest one we're probably most excited for.
I think there's two big ones.
Two big ones, okay. One of these is not on the list.
One Piece Season 2.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Sorry.
Is supposed to come out 2025. I'm mostly just interested to see what else, because I thought the changes they made in the first season were acceptable. I know that some people hated, and some people obviously really liked it because they didn't know.
Garp got introduced way too early. What are you talking about?
But I kind of liked the idea of like Garp testing Luffy, making sure that his grandson was ready, because it kind of makes Garp feel more emotion, like you see more emotion from him, which is nice to see because he does love Luffy.
Yeah,
and Ace, but he does come off very in the manga and in the anime, obviously, a lot more very, very stern and like maybe that he doesn't care as much. But I kind of liked it the way they did, and some of the changes did accelerate it to a point, but it still felt right, like felt good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see kind of just the little nuances that they change and how it affects the flow of the series.
It's got good foreshadowing, like right off episode 1 when you see Zoro before he's even captured or whatever. He's fighting one of the numbers, I think. I can't remember, which is like a huge foreshadow for what's going to be happening in season 2.
I think the one thing I'm scared about is as we get further and further in One Piece, some of the devil fruit powers will get a little bit crazy, and I'm nervous to see how they look.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it's done. Obviously, we're going to cover it. You're probably going to look forward once the first trailer one comes out. I'm sure Matt will post a video of it. So look forward to that.
I do the occasional reaction video.
Yeah, very occasional.
Very occasional.
But I'm sure that'll be one of them. And then The Last Airbender. I don't know if it's supposed to come out in 2025, but I'm sure it's in the works. And that's another one that very, very loved series. And we'll see how it continues. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I think I definitely liked the One Piece more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate the Avatar one as much as I thought I was going to.
I didn't hate it.
I think that that's two different things. One Piece, I liked it more than I thought. Avatar, I hated it less than I thought. So they kind of are in a close range.
Yeah.
I was really expecting.
They balanced each other out.
I was really expecting not to like the One Piece one at all.
There is also, is there a movie that's coming out? The anime for Last Airbender, like a film? Oh, it is. Yes. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Upcoming animated film. Follow Aang's and his friends now as young adults several years after the event of ending Avatar Last Airbender in theaters October 10th, 2025. So
that's some time.
I forgot about that.
Okay, that's some time from now, but that's exciting. Yeah, that's the Netflix stuff. Some exciting things coming. Yeah, coming down the line.
Otherwise, the only other big thing that we can really think of is the My Hero Academia anime. Final season is coming out in 2025 as well.
Is season 8 going to cover the rest? Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty caught up actually.
And Demon Slayer probably will be.
Are they doing movies? I think, or no?
They probably are doing. I can't remember. I feel like they probably did announce that they're doing movies for the final arc. And I'm sure Haiku is probably coming out with its movie next year as well for the final. And there's a lot to cover in Haiku. I just watched the movie recently.
Yeah.
And they've got a good chunk to still cover. Right? So we'll see. Hopefully it's done well. It was animated really well. Definitely better than Blue Lock, I'll tell you that much.
Ayo. Yeah, otherwise, you got 6 weeks left of 2024, stay tuned for 2 more episodes of Anime of the Month. We got winter anime coming down the line. And the 3 other episodes that are coming out.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably be early January. Expect maybe some recaps of the year.
Definitely. We might do a tier list of ranking the 12 animes we watched.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Let us know if you look forward to that.
Exactly. But until then.
And should we continue?
Yeah. Do you guys want us to continue Anime of the Months? Do you not? Do you want us to try something new? If that is, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe to this. Hopefully you subscribe to the Nerdy Misfit Gaming. Third and final plug of the episode.
And join the Discord.
Join the Discord, because we'll be there.
And rate the podcast on any podcast network you watch on.
Yeah.
Listen to.
But until then, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you. And see you next week.